All right, so our next match was the Rey de Reyes match.
It was kind of underwhelming for me. I was expecting a little bit more.
They talked about eliminations.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, there were no eliminations.
Yeah, I was very disappointed.
I feel like because we as non-Spanish speakers did not, well, number one, we didn't do the further research because I didn't care to. But at the same time, they said the commentators, they made a couple of mistakes, and this one was a prevalent one. Rey de Reyes. Apparently, this is not an elimination match. It should have been, because that was my expectation. So it was Laredo Kid.
I was expecting well, no, that's Triple Mania, isn't it? Those 3 nights was Triple Mania.
That's Triple Mania.
That's right. Anyways, I was kind of confused.
Laredo Kid, Bandido, Psycho Clown, Cibernético, and the returning Heavy Metal, and I think they actually kind of built up Heavy Metal, and they explained on why it was such a big thing overall.
Yeah.
For for Heavy Metal, where I'm like, okay, I can kind of see where this could be a surprise for somebody who watches Triple on the reg.
Right.
But overall, I thought the match, it was fine.
Yeah, it was all right.
Psycho Clown's theme song, as soon as you hear it, you can't, not being a guy that's sitting here like, Psycho. It's like, it's right there in your head where you have to literally listen to it to get it out of your head.
Right. I still have it in my head, unfortunately. Anyways, let's stop talking about that. Let's talk about other things.
I mean, we were sitting there, and then all of a sudden this thing comes on, and both of us, we just started bobbing our heads to the song. That's draw right there.
Right.
Because, as soon as I hear that, the literal only person I'll think about is Psycho Clown.
Or the Psycho Circus. Just in
right.
general.
Just that whole little faction. Like I said, the match itself was fine. Cibernético, despite him being in the business for as long as he has been, looked actually okay in it. And the same thing with Heavy Metal. Heavy Metal was fine. There was nothing offensive about it, but I was just confused about the rules.
Yeah.
I don't think Psycho Clown needed to win this match.
I didn't need to.
I think, well, for me, I chose Bandido to win because he's just reestablishing himself within the Mexican lore. Laredo,
so maybe it might be too early for him. I don't know.
Everybody else but Bandido did not have to win this match.
Yeah, I guess.
And that was my reason. Now, our mystery person was not Heavy Metal. It was Samurai del Sol. But I guess he's hurt, so that's why he wasn't there.
Anyways, let's move on to the next match.
Yeah. They did their whole celebration with a big sword, and they're like, oh, who else has a sword? Well, Drew McIntyre does. And Madcap Moss, because they have to reattach his spine. So they used Drew McIntyre's sword and did that. So anyway.
That's interesting.
All right. Disorganized mess, because
this was what the triple tag. Oh yeah, so
this was the mixed tag.
Yeah, this is the one with the stupid referee rivalry. Who cares?
Yes. The problem is that Los Vampires, they did the segment right before this match, right? And then they went to the back, and then two of them went out. It was super weird.
It was weird.
Also, this was not billed for the trios or for the mixed tag.
No.
At all. At all.
No.
And that was really unfortunate. So I kind of wish they kind of built that a little bit more, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this one. Once again, Willie Mack was replaced by Myzteziz Jr. They did the best given the circumstances.
I thought it was okay. I mean, I liked the spot with the mini.
Yes, we didn't even talk about that. Microman was out there.
Yes, Microman was out.
Yes.
It was so adorable.
He is the shortest luchador. I think his dad is shorter, isn't he? No, he's not.
No, but he was picked like a puppy.
Yes.
It was amazing.
Fun fact, he is, with Crotch Dog, from his front paws up to the top of his head was about what?
A foot.
1 foot. A foot and some change?
Well, 1 foot. He was 2 foot, laid out, played out.
Right. Microman could not. He didn't have to bend down to pet the dog. Let's put it that way.
Right.
Also, his dad is the Blue Monkey in CMLL.
Yes.
Also, he was trained by his father's good friend Ultimo Guerrero. Actually.
Anyways, let's stop talking about midgets.
Other than that, this was a fun match. I kind of wish the promo and what happened was consistent, and the tax spot was not necessary unless it was the final spot of the match.
Right. It was unnecessary.
Then it would have been fine.
Yeah. Anyways, move on to the next one. I want to go bad.
I know, I do. So, once again, why was Lady Maravilla taken out? There was no explanation for that because that's what they built. Taya Valkyrie was originally scheduled to be in a Reina de Reinas match at this show. And then she was scheduled in this match on this show.
Yep.
And then they took her out of the promo of this show, wanting to do a mystery person.
There's no point.
There's no point.
Anyways.
There was no point. The whole match was a fucking mess.
It was.
I would have done everything differently with this. Taya Valkyrie would have come out last. I would have done the stupid promo with her. And I would have, once again, I would have had her win. But I feel like there was an injury.
Yeah.
Because, like, halfway through the match, two of them just left.
Yeah, it was kind of weird.
I'm like, ooh, something. I've like during the match, I'm like, something went wrong.
Right.
Like the entire time. You can tell Phoenix Gallery is starting to tuck her out here. I wouldn't have done really anything differently with this. I thought it was structured really well.
It was a really good match with Lon Press in it, which is
this was much better.
It was much better
than their Triple Mania Regia nonsense match.
Oh yeah.
I thought it was structured better. I thought it was fought better. And honestly, the problem is that I feel like the whole LA Park and Rayo de Jalisco Jr. whatever from Triple Mania was wasted.
Oh, yeah,
because
absolutely.
it didn't happen again. It's like, okay, we have them wrestle, but who cares?
Yeah.
This was actually not a bad match. I kind of, I wish
it was messy. It was a messy match.
I wish
it should have been explained a little bit better. I think.
Yep.
It wasn't explained very well. It's like, what is it? Is it an elimination?
The one thing about WWE that's so clear because they really emphasize the global expansion of AAA. But when you do that, there's an expectation of what to do. And explaining rules for certain matches or certain rivalries on the screen clearly has to be something. And making
Even if
sure
it's done in Spanish and in English, it doesn't matter to me.
Right. I think that would have made this a lot better because, once again, we had a conflicting thing where we clearly heard elimination, but then all of a sudden, Psycho Clown could do one thing in one. Period. It was super weird.
This doesn't make any sense to me.
It doesn't make any sense. The right people, I think, overall were in this match. I just don't think the winner was the right call. Because Psycho Clown did not have to win this. He's an established main eventer already. You need to put somebody in this that has never either gone, won, or have been in a high-profile match like this. Everybody else but Bandido was within that parameter.
Let's call him a former ROH champion, but he's a current.
That was weird, too. Yeah, Bandido still has the current Ring of Honor World Champion.
Right.
That title unification match is not happening until Supercard of Honor. So that was really weird, too. I didn't even think about that. They did the best with what they could do based on the circumstances. It was a good match. I like the rivalry. I like the premise. I hope they do a rematch. But for God's sake, Phoenix, stay healthy. This is like the fourth fucking injury that I am aware of since he's joined AEW. And it's getting really frustrating. Not his fault, though. Also, the ending was a mess. I would have done that. I would have done that much differently. I wouldn't have done a damn thing different with this other than maybe a different venue. But that's a totally different situation. The right people, the right winner, the right title, the right placement. And also, you just know that if this was in a closed dome or if it was a nice night
I
out,
want to see them battle it out again, man.
this is going to be a triple mania. It has to be.
Oh, God,
especially given that circumstances. They pulled off a good match during bad weather. Think of what they do during a controlled environment.
Right.
You know that's going to be a big winner. So I wouldn't have done anything different. Anyway, Peanut Gallerio. What are we doing next week?
To be determined.
To be determined. We have a couple of ideas rolling around. But if you enjoy the show, remember to like, subscribe, follow, share it with all your friends, become a patron. Links all around down below. Peanut Gallery will you can see part of it. Of his shirt. And as always, be
majestic.